If you are caught carrying a knife, you will be arrested, you will be brought into custody and interviewed under caution. You will then be charged and brought through to the courts, where you will likely face a prison sentence. If you are caught carrying a knife in school, the school will contact the police will show up, you will be arrested and brought into custody. In custody you'll be interviewed and you'll be charged and go to courts in relation to that. Because you are carrying a knife in school, the school will most likely expel you. If you make your own knife, it makes absolutely no difference. If you were to make your own knife and carry it with you, it would be the same as if you were to buy a knife or take a knife from the kitchen. Having a penknife is not okay. It is still a knife and you'll still be charged and prosecuted for that. If you were going on scouts, guides, Duke of Edinburgh's, generally speaking, you shouldn't need to carry a knife. If by chance you were, this would be pre-arranged with the leaders, the organisers, and if you were caught carrying a knife and you were to say that was the reason why you had one, the police will contact them to make sure that is the reason. Once you're arrested, you're brought into police custody. Because of your age, you will likely have a carer, parent or guardian with you throughout the whole custody process. You'll be spoken to in interview under caution, charged, and then you will go to court in relation to carrying a knife. If you have a criminal record, it will likely impact the rest of your life. You won't be able to apply for some jobs. It will affect going away on holiday. Some countries will not let you in if you have a criminal record. You won't be able to work with certain groups of people, so some children, some adults. Schools might even expel you. In the United Kingdom, the law says if you're over 10, you will know the difference between right and wrong. So if you're over 10, you will be treated like an adult if you're found carrying a knife. If someone stabs somebody else, the police will be called, you will be arrested and brought into custody. You'll be dealt with in custody, in interview under caution, and you will go to courts and you are likely to face a lengthy term in prison. If you stab someone accidentally and that person was to die, you could still get charged with manslaughter, and if they weren't to die, you could still face a lengthy term in prison. If you were to stab somebody in self-defense, the question must be asked, why were you carrying a knife in the first place? Why did you use that knife? You will still be arrested and still go to custody, and you are still likely to go through to the courts and potentially prison. Joint enterprise, in a very basic way, is if you were within a group of people and one of that group was to have a knife and you're aware that they had that knife and they went on to use that knife, you could be as much as responsible as they were, even if you did not hold a knife or use a knife yourself. If you're there and videoing the fight, what are you doing? Why are you videoing the fight? You're encouraging them. That's what you're doing. Because you're doing that, you still will be arrested and brought through the courts for encouraging that fight, and you are just as liable as the person that's fighting. If you know that someone is carrying a knife, first and foremost, you need to make sure that you're safe. If this is a group of friends that you're with, you need to go to a responsible adult, a teacher, a carer, a guardian, anybody, and let them know what you know. You can report it to Crime Stoppers, Fearless. You can remain anonymous in doing so. It's really important that you tell somebody that someone is carrying a knife. No, telling somebody is not snitching. You are potentially saving the life of somebody that might be impacted from that knife, and that's not just the victim, that's also the person who is carrying the knife.